Alright, this is my second attempt at 20.4. My intention for this one was to obviously get a better score. On two fronts, I was looking to get a faster split time. First attempt, the split time was 15:43 or somewhere around there. So I was looking to go a little bit faster, which I felt I definitely could have. And the second other thing that I wanted to improve on was to get a clean and jerk at the 102 kilo. For those that have been following my channel and keeping up to date with the Olympic lifting, you'd know that I'd been struggling with the 100 kilo for about the last 14 weeks. My 1RM clean and jerk is actually 112.5 kilos. Having said that though, I haven't hit that in probably a year and a half, and this year was actually, I haven't hit a 100 kilo clean and jerk. So trying to attempt that after all the box jumps and pistols and stuff was an ask, but I was confident that I was able to do that. So we'll see if we can get that done. In regards to what I changed up and what I kept the same, I decided to keep the box jumps. I'd seen a lot of people doing step-ups saying that they felt it was easier. The reason I stayed with the box jumps is because I had done a lot of volume in regards to box jumps and not a lot of volume with the step-ups, and I wasn't sure how I was going to feel if I've done the step-ups there. Second thing I kept the same was 3 sets of 5 on this first bar, so the 43 kilo of the 95 pounds. I felt confident that doing 3 sets of 15 would be fine. I didn't have any ill effects from doing it the first time, and I knew I had other places to make up some time for the split time. I'd seen people do singles for the 43 kilo or the first bar and didn't think it would make much difference, so I stuck with the 3 sets of 5. I did keep the rest shorter. You probably tell I've pulled ahead, so my second attempt is on the right there, first attempt on the left. So I finished in 2:44, 43, whatever it was, whilst I'm still going on that first attempt. So I still managed to get a faster time, even though I was doing the same rep scheme. It's almost 15 seconds faster. I did increase my pace a little bit on the box jumps overall, and especially on the last set, but still at a comfortable pace, so that jump up, really open up the hips and then just step down. Had no interest in doing touch and go reps. Didn't find it necessarily. Again, I knew I wasn't going to finish the entire workout, so I didn't need to do the touch and go reps. Also, I was probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, I think. I had an Achilles issue where I wasn't able to do box jumps at all for quite some time, so always mindful of that. It's probably not until a few weeks ago actually where I started to do touch and go reps again. Had the confidence in the Achilles that it wasn't going to cause an issue, so I had no desire to do any touch and goes on that one. The other thing, or one of the things that I did change on my second attempt, was on this next bar, so the 61 kilos, or the 135 pounds, is on my first attempt I did sets of 3. I decided to go to singles on this on my second attempt, just to try and make up some time. I felt, although the sets of 3 themselves felt pretty good, I just rested a little bit too long, so I wanted to clean up that rest a little bit more, and felt doing singles I was able to do that. So basically what I'm doing there is taking 2 steps back, a breath, and then forward again. And you notice I chalked up on my first attempt on that, where I didn't need to. But again, my thoughts on that first attempt was I knew I called it pretty much exactly how it was going to happen for me. I even called down to the split time that I got. So I wasn't too fussed in rushing. So that's what I was chalking up on that first attempt. And the second one, I knew what I had to do, and knew what I wanted to do, so there was no chalking. Straight into that bar. I'd also heard quite a few people saying that their legs were pretty knackered on the jerks. Yes, my legs towards the end were fatigued, but I didn't find on these particular sets that the legs had too much of an issue. Even on the next bar, they felt okay. But definitely, obviously, if you're getting further than me, doing more reps, you really start to notice the 2 legs there. It wobbled a bit on that first clean and jerk on the left side there. So you can see on the first attempt, far more gassed at this point than I am. A similar position, but straight back up, which is good. Something I've been trying to focus on quite a bit over the last couple of months is just being mindful of how much I am resting, and just trying to go a bit earlier than I would normally, just to keep the attacking the workout. So that's 703, and then again straight into the box jumps, no wasting time. So on the left hand side there, my first attempt, still big rest on this one. I think this is up to this will be number 12 after this set. So I'm at 9 reps, I believe. That was the 12th. Alright, so it was quite a bit of rest for the last set. So with the next bar, 83 kilo, I was quite surprised on how good the pull felt from the ground on my first attempt. Even the jerk felt pretty good, which I was really surprised, really happy with, but quite surprised at the same time. I did change the strategy slightly, going from the first to the second attempt. On the first attempt, I did push jerks for 5 reps, I believe, and then into the split jerk. This time around, I went straight to the split jerk, just to try and save the shoulders a little bit for the last bar that I was going to attempt, 102 kilo. Because my jerk is far weaker than my clean, so I wanted to sort of save the shoulders a little bit, so I decided to go all 10 split jerks, whereas the first time I did 5 push jerks and 5 split jerks. Alright, so decided to chalk up for this attempt. I'm not 100% sure why, but I did. So we got 10 clean and jerks, 83 kilo for my second attempt. So still ahead. So again, the other thing I wanted to clean up a little bit was the rest on this bar as well. From my first attempt, felt I rested a little bit too long, especially the back end. So I was going all the way back to the rig and then walking forward to try and keep it the same the whole way through. So at this point I am about, what's that, three clean jerks ahead on the second attempt. So my rest is a lot shorter from the first to the second attempt, which is good. Although my clean jerks on the first attempt looked pretty fast. I know that they felt really good, and I was very surprised with that. So it sort of gave me confidence to keep doing it. So I guess the question is, why did I feel I needed to change? Just due to the fact that I was resting a little bit too long, I felt, on that first attempt, whereas I want to push the pace a little bit more, and if that meant I have to split jerk, well, that's what I was going to do. So this is where the rest on the second attempt starts to blow out a little bit. Nothing too crazy that I can remember, at least. So definitely a lot shorter, that rest, which is good. So I decided to go to the split jerk on my first attempt as well. This might be number 9. That was number 9, I think, on the right hand side there. So I think this is rep number 10. Yep, 12:44. So into the pistols. Heart rate was a little bit elevated than I expected, but I felt last time on the pistols I was able to keep or decrease my heart rate actually through these pistols. So I was just trying to stick with the pace. I also felt a little bit more comfortable on the pistols on the second attempt than I did on the first. On the first I was a little bit sort of jumping around a little bit more, so just clean that up as well. So as you can tell, quite a significant difference time-wise from the second attempt to the first. And I think that was a combination of, I had done the workout before, sort of knowing where I can push the pace and where I need to stay the same and things like that. So I just finished the clean and jerks on the first attempt there into the pistol. So you know, so you'll be able to see the difference, sort of jumping around, popping around a little bit more on the first attempt than I am on the left. It was interesting on the second attempt at about between 10 to 15. I was like, oh, just take it slow. And then I remembered that I was going to have a significant rest before my first attempt, so I decided to push the last 10 reps on the pistols. So for my second attempt, I was looking to have my first attempt around the 17:30 mark. Just wanted to make sure that my legs were somewhat recovered, because I found excuse me, on the first attempt on both the workout and the squat clean that I had no legs, so I wanted to have a little bit more rest than I did on the first one. So I finished 14:15 the pistols, so it was going to be about 3 minutes 15 rest before I attempt the 102 kilo clean and jerk. I only had 2 attempts on my first go at this workout, and that wasn't due to time being a factor. It was more just, that's all I wanted to give it a go, to be honest. Especially after the first failed rep, sort of felt, I was a bit surprised by how it felt, so I only gave it one more crack. So on that attempt on the first one, which you'll see in a few moments as I speed this up, it's me just walking around in circles. So I think first attempt I go first. So you'll see here, sort of get 3/4 of the way up, and it's like, nah, not happening. And I could have stood it up, but I knew that I was going to fail the jerk, so I bailed and was like, I'll rest and then try it again. So first attempt on the right here, we'll see if it looks any better. Nope, actually looked a little bit worse, so I was still fairly low. So the next attempt, I think, is going to be on the left there. Yep, we got 50 seconds. So just spoiler, I bail on this one as well. It's like, nah, it feels too heavy. On the left here, on the right, sorry. So I managed to stand it up. Wanted to get the weight up pretty much as fast as I could, and still failed. So overall, I improved on my split time by about 45 to 50 seconds, but still wasn't able to hit the 102 kilo clean and jerk. So technically did better, but still a little bit annoyed by not hitting that. But we'll keep working on that. Till next WOD.